because you are currently enjoying. You are in high school and you are getting your meals throughout. You don't miss a meal, but there are people who miss meals, and that's a reality that you need to get to know. You also begin to imagine that how will it be that I will be begging from my friends? How will it be that I will be subordinate to some of the people we were in class together? The moment you make those imaginations, you just start pushing yourself, you start rolling your sleeves, and you work. And the last thing is that get the right friends. If you are around friends who are working, there is no way you won't work. Laziness is normally promoted by having a group of guys who are equally lazy like yourself. Get out of that environment, get the right friends, get some people who can push you, get some people who will tell you the truth. People will tell you the hard facts. When you want to improve in individual subjects, I don't know who asked that question. One of the things that you need to do is developing a relationship with your teachers. The moment you don't have a good relationship with your teachers, you cannot engage them. Yet they are trained to make you understand those subjects. Whatever thing that you are doing, do it with consultation of your teachers. Whether you want to buy a material, a book, talk with your subject teacher. Whether you want to construct a personal timetable, do it with your teacher. Whether you want to make a study plan, do it with your teacher. Is very, very important. Number two, any subject that you want to improve, begin from where you understand. The biggest problem with many of us is that we are obsessed with the idea of finishing syllabus. And I think it is something that happens in our schools. When are we completing the syllabus? When are we completing the syllabus? What's the importance of a completed syllabus without understanding those syllabus? Go back to where you got lost. Begin your study there. Like myself, I had a problem because I wasted much of my time all the way to Form 4. And when I was in Form 4, I had to start an improvement plan. And in mathematics, I realized that I got lost in Form 2. And I went back to Form 2. And I started my revision. By the time I was covering Form 3 work, I think I just almost completed Form 3 work. It was KCSE. Personally, I never revised my Form 4 topics in mathematics. I revised them in the village when I was waiting for my results. So what happened? I had a B in maths, which was not too bad from somebody who was improving from a strong E in Form 4 all the way to a B with only covering work up to Form 3. So you don't really need to have this thing like a complete syllabus. You need to have a portion of the syllabus that you understand if you don't have the capacity to do the whole of it. That would be my advice. Use a strategy, use a plan, Get a few topics that you can cover, understand them, master them, perfect them, get into the examinations with those ones. Then running through the entire syllabus, alafu unajua kila kitu na ujui, yani unajua na ujui. So you just get lost somewhere. Those are my thoughts in those two areas. Back to you, Mwalimu.
Thank you so much for that wonderful response.
Thank you.
Yeah, so there are two other questions someone is asking. How do we handle the issue of postponing things? Yeah, like I'm studying a certain topic and I end up not doing it. And someone else is asking, how does one manage to remain positive in this one that is filled with negativity? Maybe you can respond.
Yes. Wow, two very powerful questions. Thank you very much. How do you fight postponement? And it's a big problem all over, even to grown-ups, not just you as students. One of the things that I would suggest, number one, is developing personal discipline. How do you develop personal disciplines? You get accountability partner. When I was starting a program of waking up early in the morning in St. Patrick's City in those days, it was really difficult because it was something that I'd never done before. So I got a friend as an accountability partner who was a very tough guy. He was called Koej. Koej angecheka na wewe. Jamaa anakuja anakutoa kwa kitanda asubuhi, unamwambia bwana wewe uniwaje leo, waje niamuke kesho. Koej anakuja na maji na jack. Na anakuambia if you don't wake up, mimi namwaga maji kwa kitanda. Na anasema I could not come all the way from my dorm mpaka hapa nikuje nikuamshe na usiamke. An accountability partner. Get somebody who can supervise what you are doing. It couldn't even be a classmate, but give the person room to influence your life. It could be a teacher. It could be a parent or a brother or a sister at home. Give them an absolute authority over your life as an accountability partner. That is one way of maintaining discipline. The beauty of discipline is that human beings are so responsive to change the moment you cultivate consistency. We're just like dogs. You know, when you feed a dog at 1 o'clock only for 5 days, ikifika hiyo saa umbu anaanza kubweka kama chakula haijafika, because it's already tuned. It is said human beings are also like that in psychology. They say human beings also respond to consistency immediately. The moment you just wake up 5 times the same time, your mind sets that clock, and when it gets to that time, you automatically wake up. So by building consistency just for a few days, so get somebody to push you through, and then don't forget to remind yourself where you are going. That's one of the things that will always push you, that there is where I am going, there is somewhere beautiful I am going. Have friends who have gone where you want to go. Let them be the motivators of your life. Don't live your life alone. Live a life where you have mentors, people who empower you. How do you remain positive in this world that is full of negativity? Look at the sunny side of life. There is always a reason to give up. But what is the privilege of giving up? There is always a reason to quit. But what is the benefit of quitting? There is somebody who said, if you travel half the road and you decide to go back, you will cover another half going back, which is an equivalent distance of the half that was left for you to succeed. You will have covered the same distance, whether you quit or whether you continue. So why quit? So one of the reasons that you really need to encourage yourself is that the process is painful, but what is the alternative? Success is difficult, but what is the alternative? There's somebody who said, succeeding is hard, but failure is, but it's like, okay, so you never succeeded. How will it look like living the life of failure? It's better paying the pain of success than taking the cheaper shortcut of failure, because for a short while, the process of success will be painful. Then you enjoy forever. For the shortcut of failure, it will be enjoyable for a short while, and then you suffer forever. Which one would you choose? Pick the alternative. So that is the way of remaining positive in this life, because mediocrity, you will suffer for the rest of your life. Fighting for success, you will only suffer for a short while, and then you enjoy forever. Thank you very much. Back to you, Mwalimu.
Thank you so much, our speaker, for those wonderful responses. There are still some more questions that are coming. Yeah, so right. Someone is asking, what can you do if you study really hard, devote your time to studies, but you end up getting a poor grade? Yeah, so, and someone is also asking, how do we avoid negative attitude towards a certain subject? So let me just handle the last one about the subject. How can we balance the subjects? Yeah, so those many subjects that we have in high school. And then now, when you answer those, maybe I'll give you the other one that is remaining, and even as they keep them coming. So, our speaker, maybe you can respond to those 3, and I'll give you the other one.
Thank you very much, and thank you for those wonderful questions. I think there's somebody who has asked, how do you maintain a positive attitude? And I think that is something we had mentioned about. It is so much related to the question that somebody was asking, how do you remain positive in this life that is full of negativity? So I would just categorize that question as almost the same question that I've just answered. And I just want to add one more thing, that please tune to positive information. Please don't tune to the negative information that is always coming from the world. Sometimes even young people, we listen to music that even don't speak to us as an encouragement. Under pressure, I am a survivor. you know, those kind of negative words bombarding your mind every time. Listen to something that energizes you. Listen to something that triggers, awakens the power that is in you. Then the other thing I would really add is that please tune into God. You know, God is your maker, God is your creator, and I've experienced that in my life. There are many people who underestimate the place of God in your life. Just saying a prayer and just subjecting your life to the leadership of God. Let me tell you, it is so powerful. Life is so spiritual. Any celebrity, you will see that they are connected to the supernatural, whether it is God or whether are the gods of this world. Look at those footballers. The moment they score a goal, you will see some of them making the sign of a cross to say that he's making a prayer, or another ones make some image of some form of a god that they worship. Life is so spiritual. Take it from me. Somebody else is talking about balancing subjects, and I'm happy that this question has been raised up because I've had trouble with people, young people coming out of school, a wonderful grade, a B stand, for example, but you can't because your subjects are just don't just concentrate on this grade, on your mean grade, and you don't figure out where do you want to go. And this is where career comes in. So the moment you sit in Form 1, the moment you sit in Form 2, the moment you sit in Form 4, I mean, whatever class, ask yourself, where in terms of clusters? Don't deal there, no. Cluster your subject. As my destiny lies around there. So you begin to fight around that subject, even if it is not your favorite subject. Is in the cluster that is required for your destiny. I've seen many young people, they can't go to nursing, they can't go to engineering, they can't go to teaching, they cannot go anywhere, and they have a beautiful grade. Why? Their subjects are just scattered. They were not clustered. Remember, for your admission to university or to college, they will look at your mean grade and they will look at your cluster subjects. Begin to cluster your subjects around the destiny that you that you want to go. Somebody talked about, I'm working so hard and it's not working out. It happens to many people. I even worked so hard and I really needed a good grade because I was in a national school, but it never worked out. But let me tell you, keep fighting. It took me a long while in this life really to begin to demonstrate smartness. I had only one A in Form 4, for example. I just made it to university very narrowly. Even if I really put a lot of effort, because I remember I used to sleep for sometimes 4 hours, sometimes I would sleep for 5 hours. There was for the last 2 holidays in Form 4, I never went home. I remained in school, and I was really fighting through a very difficult moment. But I never made anything much. But let me tell you, by the time I was doing my master's, there was a semester I sat for 8 units, and I had 7 straight A's. Sometimes the fight in this life takes a while to pay off, but I want to encourage you, keep doing it. Take, for example, if Thomas Edison had given up, because it is said of him that he's tried 1,000 times when he was inventing a bulb, and it is said it's 1,000 times that succeeded. The 1,000th time succeeded. When Thomas Edison was asked, how many times did you fail? He said, nope, I never failed. I only discovered 999 ways you cannot use to make a bulb. What an attitude. Amidst failure, that every step of failure is a discovery. Another step of failure is a discovery. Keep the momentum, but find out where is your struggle. Have a discussion with your teacher. Could you be having something in your life that probably it is affecting your memory and your understanding? Could you be stressed, for example? Could you require some counseling? Could you be in some relationship that is probably destabilizing you? Could you be coming from a home background where you are not getting some love? Could you be needing somebody in your life who can make you begin to appreciate yourself even before you appreciate your struggle as a student and in academics? Find out the root cause. Sometimes the root cause could not really be in the reading in itself. There could be something that could be psychologically destabilizing you. Those are my thoughts. Thank you. Back to you, Mwalimu.
Okay, thank you so much, speaker, for those. Let me just give you the two other questions. Someone is asking, how can we ignore or forget about the challenges we face in high school as they are affecting our minds during our studies? Then someone is asking, now how do we overcome so the depression of the pressure? So one gets from everyone, especially from your teachers and family, just because they know that your siblings are performers and they keep comparing you and expect you to be the same. How do you be able to overcome that kind of depression of the pressure? Maybe those two questions that I've been able to see. And in case of any other one, that I'll be able to float it to you so that you can be able to engage. So to you, our speaker.
This thing of family background and rejection comes forth every and you are being compared with your one you, whether they like it or not. You will never be like your brother. And by the sorry, you can now hear me.